Hello fellow floss tubers, this is Lynn Wiltzius, love to cross stitch. I'm downstairs today because it's one of those hot days for Washington State. We're supposed to reach 103 today. It's 11 o'clock and I think we're close to 80 degrees already. So I came downstairs to see if it would work better, and hopefully my video will be better than the last two I did, which were crap. And I have a hard time with videos that don't sync, and I tend to be having that problem with this, so I don't know if it's my bandwidth or what. But anyway, back to floss tube. It's been almost a month since I posted on here. I've missed y'all. I've wanted to get on, but life has gotten in the way. My father had full knee replacement on the left knee, so for the last 2 weeks I've been over to my folks' house practically every day. My dad just had it done on Wednesday, but I was doing some of the doctor appointments and stuff with them. My mother tends to need help. She's always pulling the sympathy card, so, and then she kind of makes me feel guilty when I don't go and help. So anyway, I've been spending most of my time over there. For those of you that were wondering about my cat, no, she did not return. I do believe that the people that took her were probably the ones that dropped her off, what, about 9 months ago? No, a year ago. About a year and 2 months ago. I honestly think that they're the ones that came and got her, because we're in an area where it's they had to have known she was here, and the only way to know that is to know me, and I don't know a lot of people that would do that. But it's kind of interesting. I've posted everything, and no sign of her. Everybody knows that she's missing. I've run into people and said, "Oh, that was your cat." So I said, "Yeah." Anyway, so I'm hoping that if it is the people that took her, that dropped her off in the first place, that took her, I hope they're taking really good care of her, and that she's happy. That's all I can wish. That's all I can wish. She was a beautiful cat. And I had 9 months of bliss with her, so I'm not going to complain. Hopefully one of these days I can get my husband to get another cat. He's really not a cat person, so it's kind of hard to do that. And I always tend to adopt neighborhood cats anyway, so it's kind of funny. Okay, so not floss tube issues, so let's get on to floss tube. I've been pretty busy. I'm going to try and stay within my 30 minutes. I don't like videos that take longer, and I have a feeling that the syncing on this is not going to work again. I've already done one video and the syncing was driving me nuts, so I don't know what I'm going to end up doing. I thought this was a good camera, but I may end up having to get a better one. So alright, so back to floss tube. Since the last time I saw you, I was working on my Brazilian embroidery. So here's the birds, and as you can tell, I'm a little closer. I got to do the back fin feathers, and once I'm done with that, then I can put the wing on in here. I'm really happy with the way it's coming out. It's really pretty, but I really haven't had a lot of time to work on it, and I'm hoping to finally get this done. Okay, and then my heaven and earth design that I was working on, this is the pattern for those that you wanted to know, and it is cat pentagram, and it's by Lisa Parker. She's got another one or two similar to this. Again, I'm a cat person, so I like it. And that one, sorry, I'm gonna put this away real quick and then pull it out. So I was able to get a few more stitches, not a lot, probably about 400 stitches on it. So here we go. So that's about as far as I've gotten since the last time. I didn't get a lot of stitches in on it, but I have been working really hard on getting this one done. That is Andromeda, and I'm with the Facebook group Fantastic Fabrics Stitch Along. So this is as far as I've gotten on that. I really like the way it's coming out, and I changed the darker, these purple colors. I changed them to a pretty, what I call a truer purple. They're a little brighter, and I like things a little bit brighter. I want them to stick out. I don't want them to fade into the ground. And then I realized that there was a gray in there that I probably should have changed to, but it's kind of too late. So we'll see how it works. So far I like the way it's coming out. Okay, so then I also worked on my heart anchor, and let me get that out here. See, I put everything away when after the first video, and then when I was looking at the first video I didn't like the way it was turning out. So this is the heart anchor, and right in here when we're doing it's the loop-de-loop kind of thing, I was having a little bit of trouble. It doesn't look right, so I think I need to watch her a couple more times to see how to actually do that. I'm just not happy with the way it's coming out. And then my Patriotic Angel was the other one I was working on. So I did get a little bit more done on that one as well. Not a lot. I actually got frustrated with this piece, which is weird because it's a small piece. But I got frustrated with it, and I was taking out pieces. And actually that's the pattern that I put in the beginning of the video. So, okay. And please forgive me if I sound a little bleh, but like I said, life is hectic, and having to redo this video another time just I thought I had it down, but anyway, not my day, but we're okay. So then my quilt group was really sweet. They gave me let's see if I can open it. They gave me this tin full of buttons. And it's funny because last year, I think, when I went through my quilt stuff, I got rid of all my buttons. Then I went to my mother because I needed buttons. And so then a friend of hers gave her a whole bunch of quilt stuff, and there was a bucket of buttons, and I said, I'll take those. So now I have probably a 10.5 of buttons, and I'm going to try and get these in with the other ones. Okay, so, and the other fun part was I said I don't do smalls. So I lied. I did. Here's a small. It's a sweet pea with a honeybee. And I did this back in the 80s, I think. I think. It's a pincushion. It's got felt around it. See? Felt. I forgot I had this. I made 3 of them, and I gave 2 of them away, and I think I gave 1 of them to my daughter-in-law. And if I gave 1 to my daughter-in-law, then chances are it hasn't been since the 80s. I must have, when I just started to get back into cross stitch is when I must have made these. So it must be about 4 or 5 years. so it's not as old as I thought it was. Okay, then I was working on, see if I can find it. I had it here a minute ago. I was working on my needle book. Here it is. So I got this done. Talk about having a hard time trying to figure out what to do on the front. But when I ordered some wool felt for the inside, they gave me a cutout, and so then I thought, okay, I'll use that. So it's not the prettiest front, but it'll do with my embroidery. So I finished this week, and it's got all the needles I need for Brazilian embroidery. And then in the back, it's also, I put a little bag, those little bags that we don't know what to do with, but we keep. And that'll have the needle threader and the needle pullers and stuff like that in here that I can use. So this is done. And I had another one like this that I thought about using for cross stitch, but it's only got 2 in it, and I need another one. So I decided to make another one. Good old brains of me, huh? So this one, excuse me, I just started yesterday, and it's gonna have a W on it. And I'm making it look like pine cones as far as feathers go, the pine leaves. And they're not really leaves either. They're kind of pine cones. Not pine cones. Okay. I got to get my trees straightened out, and I'm kind of off. Cedar trees. So the cedar on the trees. Anyway, that's what I'm trying to do, and I need to make a pine cone, and I'll probably do about 3 pine cones. One up here, you know, maybe 2 here, and then one on the other side. So maybe 4 pine cones. But Brazilian embroidery doesn't have a pattern for pine cones that I can find, so I think I'm going to have to make my own, and I'm going to try it with bullions and see if I can do that. So I'll do that on my doodle cloth and see how that goes. And again, I'm not liking the way this is going. Alright, so I showed you my bird. My brain is working. It is working. I'm a little slow today. Oh, I purchased this pattern, which is My Lady's Garden. It's a Mirabilia design. And the more I look at it, the more I don't like it. I don't like the way the gal's face is. There's just something about this I don't like. So, who knows? Maybe in the future I will put this up for auction or something. I'm just not that crazy about it. So I also ordered this one, In God We Trust. As you can tell, I'm very patriotic, so I had to get it. It wasn't what I expected, but that's okay because it's thicker. It's not thin stuff, it's pretty thick. I don't know what this is, but this is the pattern, and the pattern's inside, and I'm happy with it. I wasn't too thrilled with what I paid for it, but then I thought, you know, for what I paid for it, it's not bad, and I wanted the pattern, so I can't complain. And so I was going through my supplies, and I found that I had a few Zweigart material, so I'm good there. And then I also found that I had a linen piece, this 20 by 27. I think I got this at, it's a gray color. I think I got this up at Hobby Lobby when I was up there a couple months ago. I haven't made it up to Quilts of Valor. And speaking of Quilts of Valor, I have my dad's quilt finished. And so it's ready for him to receive it. I asked them to do one for my husband, which is going to be a surprise. So I figured that way I can get my husband and my father done for Quilts of Valor. Excuse me. And so it's going to be one of those things where I tell my husband that we're going to represent my father. Tell my father we're going to represent my husband so I can get them both up there at the same time. I don't know how that's going to work, but we're going to try. And it probably won't happen until September, October. So when it does, I will post a photo of it. In the meantime, it's kind of still going to be secretive. So I'm a member of the Fabulous Fabrics Stitch Along. And I also am a member of her hand-dyed fabrics. They're individual fabrics. So I ordered this pattern, and it's Sleepy Hollow. And I ordered it in May. And it's amazing how many people have been working on it since I ordered mine, but it didn't come in until this week. So I had her do some hand-dyed fabric for me. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little muddier than what I wanted, and it's a little grayer than I wanted, but then I kind of really didn't know what I wanted, and she had talked to me through Facebook instant messenger, and I told her I wanted it in true, I wanted it a more true color than a dull color. And so I think I confused her a little bit, and I really didn't know what I wanted. So so this is what I got, and I'm okay with it. I think once the pattern is done on it, it should look fine. I mean, I wanted more of a gray background than a blue background anyway, because it's a gray night, not a blue night. You know what I mean? We'll see. And it's Halloween, so you don't want it too bold and bright. You want it kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I showed this or not, but this is a pattern that I got at Hobby Lobby when I was up there. And it's the American Sampler. So, again, another kit. And when I went back through my stuff, when I was putting them away, I noticed that there were a couple other kits I didn't show you. So I have plenty of kits to keep me busy. And then I have some random acts of kindness, RAK, RAKs. And so this is one of them. I had told Dawn on Instagram that this was the pattern that I tried to buy, but they didn't have. And it's Country Cottage Needleworks, Land That I Love. Again, patriotic. And so she was on Instagram and asked me if I wanted it. And I said, yeah, I do. And so she sent it to me from Australia, of all places. So Dawn was a sweetheart. So even sent me a card with it. Now I got to figure out something that I can do for her that I can send back. So I'm going to try to do that. Now, another thing of random act of kindness is one of my quilting friends gave me these. And those are 10 count, one piece, 12 by 18. So if anybody is interested in, I'll tell you what, if I get at least 2 people interested, I will send these to you. If I get more than 2 people, I will put your name in a jar, and I will draw your name out. So if you are interested in the waist fabric canvas pieces, waist fabric that's 10 count, 12 by 18, if you're interested in 2 of these or one of these, leave your message. If you say you're interested in both of them, I'll put your name in twice. Actually, make it fair. 1 per person. So if you want one of these, put your name down and I'll keep track. And if I only get 2 people, then I'll contact you and I will send them to you. I haven't figured out how to use the messaging on it on the YouTube. I haven't figured out how to send a message. I've asked a couple of people, but nobody's notified me and tell me how to do that. I've gotten messages that way, but I have no clue. I have no clue. So I will probably send you a message on the comment down below, and I'm going to try in the meantime to figure out how to use the messages so I can send you a message. If you're on Instagram or something, I can do it that way too. Okay, so you do that, and let's say, let me think. Let's say if you view this and decide you want one of these in, but then next video, and that should be 2 weeks, maybe 3, 2 weeks, in 2 weeks, the next video will have who gets this. So I want to see who's paying attention. Okay. Not that it really matters. So another random act of kindness is that one of our embroidery gals had passed away last year. I think I had said that in one of my videos, and we were selling her beads and things like that. So her husband contacted us and said that he had some books of hers that he wanted to give away to the group. And so I decided that I was going to take a couple of them. And he told me I could have any ones I wanted, and then the rest of them could go to the group. So this is one of them I got. Education Projects by the Brazilian Embroidery Wrap-Up, volumes 1 through 15. And it's got a lot of the educational stuff that they were doing. It's good for teaching and stuff like that, so I thought that was cool. And then I got this one. I don't particularly care for this, and I've seen it real, I've seen it done, but I'm still not that crazy about it. So, and then there's this, but this has a lot of the techniques in it of how to do things step by step. And actually I need to do this on one of mine. So so I think it's interesting, and I decided that I'm going to keep that one. And those are the books that I decided to keep. And then, have you ever noticed that, you know, I always thought that I could never have enough of these scissor fobs, but I'll tell you what, I have enough. I have got more scissor fobs than I know what to do with, and I didn't think I'd ever get to that point. Okay, so I'm thinking as I look around, I think I hit everything, which is weird because the first time I hit 40 minutes and I'm only on 25, which makes me happy. Oh, so some of the floss tubers were talking about how we should, or it would be cool if we would say something about ourselves that you don't know. So it's kind of like we keep introducing ourselves to you with something new each time. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Most of you know that I'm a military brat. I grew up in the military. I spent 19 years, well, what did I say? I spent 13 years of my 19 years as a military brat overseas. So I learned some languages. I'm not fluent in any of them. I learned German before I spoke English. And I was so mad at people when they wouldn't tell me, when they wouldn't talk to me in German. When I came back to the States, I'd get so mad. I remember stomping my feet because nobody would talk to me in German. And I was in Germany from the time I was 3 months old till the time I was 3 years old. Okay, that's that. See, that's something new that you didn't know, probably. Um, I learned some Japanese. I still have it pretty good. I know some because we lived in Japan for 3 years. So I'll tell you more about that another time. Um, I've been looking for a couple of friends that I knew overseas, and I haven't been able to find them or locate them. So I just hope, they're still around. Um, Basically, I think right now that's something that you didn't know. I learned some German. I took a German class in high school and got a C in the class. I could speak it, but I couldn't do the writing of it. I couldn't write the German. And I kind of understood what people were saying. Until this day, even today, I can listen to a German talk, and if I listen long enough, I know what they're saying. But I can't tell you word for word. I could just say he's saying, he's talking about whatever. He said that was good or that was bad. So that's about all as far as the German language goes. Japanese, I can understand some of it. I wish I would have learned more, and hopefully one of these days I will go back and learn more. There's supposed to be a Japanese station that teaches you how to do that, but again, we're in America, we speak English. Not going to go there. All right, so that's about it. I keep thinking that I've forgot something, and apparently I haven't. So I told you a little bit about myself. I'll loosen up hopefully next time because my brain is so muddled and life has been a bear the last 2 weeks. Um, I feel like I'm probably boring and you're not getting much out of me, but I do hope that you do like some of the stuff I'm working on. I hope to have my room cleaned out, and who knows, I might be giving some stuff away here in the near future. We'll see. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Goodbye.